Wow, look at that. All right, let's try this stuff. Okay, well, this is Coffee and a Weather Map with Jeff, and I am actually on. So it looks like things are working. If you see this, although I didn't put out any of my social media stuff, I will eventually show it. Anyway, I am in the process of changing things around a bit. So with the help of a little bit of new equipment that I hadn't tried using, and my old Mac, which seems to be working pretty well, and figuring out all the new changes to OBS and getting that done, I now have a more workable solution to with what I was trying to do before with all my lives and slash recordings. This is live. In fact, I'm going to hit start recording. Oh, I didn't like that. Okay. Oh, I know why. Because I haven't plugged in my old hard drive. And I don't see if I can I do this while I'm doing all this stuff? Output. Recording. It's grayed out. Recording cannot be paused if the recording. Okay. Cancel. Okay, so I can't record it. Warning. So, let's see. Looks like I have at least a little bit of lag or something going on. I have a warning on my. Let's see what it says. Oh, it's going to show up over there. Oh, my bit rate's too slow, I think, is what it is. And this is why I am doing this as a test and didn't broadcast it all over the place. Let me open this window up a little more. There we go. Warning is lower than the recommended. We recommend. Okay. Open widget. And beep, 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 beep. All right. So we're going to close that up. And I'm going to do this anyway. Right from the script that I even wrote. So I should be ready here. Let me see here. I gotta find my cursor. One of these days it's going to show up in the right spot. Okay, there it is. And I need to go this way and back. Well, oh, 2 views. Wow. All right. Me originally, and then somebody else, I guess. Okay. So here we go. Hi, everyone. If you hadn't had a chance to take a look at my blog post from this morning, which is December 31st, 2025, about returning to the blog, especially if you notice some changes to the video. So we'll get into this now. Yeah, go to my blog, read that. It'll tell you everything that I kind of sort of summarized here at the very beginning. So we're just going to get into the actual forecast. I got to remember where I put it. Oh, yes, right here. Ah, there we go. All right. And with that, I think we will make this a little bigger. Oh, I just realized I haven't put a place to put radar scope on here so that I can pull that up when I need to. All right, anyway, as I said, let's get into it. There are two main systems over the United States. You can kind of see them here. One is this front stretching across the northern part of the U.S., pretty much from the Canadian Rockies into the northern plains, across the Dakotas, the upper Midwest, or the upper Great Lakes, the lower Great Lakes, and then into New England. There's high pressure that's kind of sitting here along, and this I can point with this cursor. High pressure that stretches all the way down the Rockies until it comes out here to the south, and then comes out into the southern plains and out over the Gulf. Upper air pattern, we'll take a look at that real quick. I'm going to also try to do these faster. So here's the most recent, let's see here, oops, it's going to probably pop up on me now. Oh, I need this right here. There we go. Okay, so this is the 16Z map, so it's a little bit more up to date, and with the 12Z fronts on it. But you can still see that it's basically, it still runs in the same general area with the low pressure systems. This has been 4 hours though since the last frontal analysis has been done. But you can still see that same basic idea still goes through. All right, let's go to the upper air on the wrap. Oops, let's get the 15Z right there. All right, yeah, so we still kind of follows the same sort of idea. The cold front that is in the northern part is right there along with the jet stream kind of over it, or just slightly, the better winds are off to the north there. And so with that ridge pattern in the west and a trough in the east, and that is what is causing all the weather that has been going on. I see that I had put a thing in here about the radar. So, oh, there's radar scope. That's good. We'll pull radar scope up here. Watch it be in a 4-panel. Oh, hey. It's not on the page I need it to be. And this is why I test and see where everything's going. Oops, wrong direction, this way. No, why won't it go to one of these pages? Oh, I know why. Because this is in full screen mode. Now let's see if we can get this over here. There we go. Well, that's one nice thing. Oh, this works. Zoom out. As I learned the whole new system live, so you can see how unprepared I was for all this. But I needed to get this done and tested to make sure everything is working. There we go. Things are loading up. It is a little on the slow side. I see that. I'll have to figure that out, why things are on the slow side. But anyway, it's probably just because I'm trying to transmit out at the same time I'm transmitting in on Starlink here in the marina. Anyway, pretty much, let me go out with a couple more. Whoops, you can see. There we go. That should do better. And then we'll just kind of scooch this way. Our precipitation on here is outlined along the front. There is right here is a clipper system that's coming through down along that cold front. There is some lake effect. Actually, the clipper system is starting to get into the northern lower Michigan. This is lake effect from the tail end of the last system that went through, and that should be continuing to move off. Okay, it doesn't like me doing that, so we will go out a couple more. Out to the west. Nice. Somehow, yeah, radar scope. Okay, that's fine. There we go. Okay, so using MRMS, you can see everything across here. So there's still precipitation there. You know, like I said, the UP, northern lower Michigan, then Clipper in the northern plains, the upper Great Lakes. Out west, the rain continues along the coast of SoCal. It is starting to spread inland, and most of the models are showing, and we'll talk about that in a bit here, towards the east and northeast, so that it's into Northern California. It is starting to try to get there a little bit north of San Francisco, so it is trying to move up that way. It's not it's the remnants of the river, the atmospheric river that's been there, and then the high pressure is right here in between. You can kind of see where I've got the mouse moving there, and which goes all the way down into the Gulf. So what was my next thing? Oh, that's what it was. Okay, so we go back. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to minimize this. There we go. All right. Oh, and then the satellite kind of outlines the same basic idea, and we'll get that here shortly. Started. There we go. And you can see the clouds along that front and the low pressure system as it's kind of moving into Wisconsin, and then the snow that's associated with it in Michigan. If you look off to the east there, getting into right around upstate New York. And in fact, I think I can do, let's go to the localized sectors, and we will go in here. And you can see that there is a lake band across Lake Ontario going right into the Tug Hill Plateau region. That's where all that snow's going. And then there's another, looks like maybe another one there right along the coast going into the rest of that. At least on the low levels, that's where the lower clouds are going. You can see the upper clouds are kind of moving from northwest to southeast. So, all right, let's switch back over to continental sectors, and we'll take a look here. There we go. And you can see those clouds, especially on the west coast, moving northward and eastward. So some of that rain getting in there, it's going to be getting up into southern Oregon here in a bit. So, see, that's what I had. Okay. So, starting off with, this was the 6Z GFS. Let's see if the 12Z is in here yet. Oh, that's the 0Z GFS. Well, the 0Z GFS, or the 12Z, should be in partially. Looks like most of it is. We'll see here. Yep. Well, all but the last few frames, which is good. We can go out. It's almost a... So we can kind of see the idea. There's the like the Michigan Clipper slash lake effect. The lake effect goes in there. The Clipper goes across the Mid-Atlantic and into New England, and that kind of moves out. If you kind of look in here, I wonder if I can zoom in. Oh, I can. All right, just like on my tablet, I can zoom in. You can kind of see that there are some, the GFS is trying to do lake effect now, so there it shows up with some of it in there. It used to be horrible at doing lake effect, so the fact that it's even doing anything now is interesting. If you see these red dotted lines, that's kind of analogous to the upper air pattern for the most part, and you still see that ridge out here in the west and the trough in the south or in the east. That will continue to move eastward as well with all this stuff. And then we've got, at least the GFS has this one here. The European's a little different. We'll take a look at that real quick here shortly. It kind of goes through over the next 48 hours. It wants to try to bring some rain further south. We'll look at, when we look at the forecast, we'll get into that. It continues on. Then we just have a series of clippers that get through Michigan. One of them may be far enough north that rain or some sort of mixed precip can get into northern lower Michigan, which is interesting. That has happened in the past. And then there's a big Colorado low, and then there's trying to form up some sort of severe weather event in the Ohio Valley, and then another round of rain that goes through, and then it gets out here. So that high pressure is over the area. What it means for me, at least on a personal level, is that we are not going anywhere anytime soon, except for maybe a couple of days next week. That would be anywhere close to being available for people to cross the Gulf over to the other part of Florida on the loop. And if you read my blog, you can see what I'm talking about. So let's kind of take a look at some of the details of what's going to happen here. Oh, I promised the European though too. So let's get the European. Oops, I want global. We'll do this one. Oh, the new 12Z is not in, but we can at least get out far enough that we can start doing it. That's why I had 0Z on there before. There's the clipper in the upper Great Lakes, high pressure across the Gulf, and we just continue on. And then it also has that little thing of rain that's trying to spin up there south of the Ohio Valley, just like the GFS did. Brings a little bit of rain through the Panhandle and the rest of Florida. It doesn't look like it should get as cold, especially these thickness lines here. 552, it still maintains far enough north that we should be, it'll be cooler, but it won't be this chilly 38 degrees, 36 degrees here on the coast in the mornings. So it'll probably be 40s with highs in the 60s. There is a couple of days when it could get to 70, and we'll take a look at that here in a bit as well. You can kind of see the idea with what's going on there. So with that, we're going to switch over to Desi and do the details. So first thing I wanted to do was look at Michigan. Well, here's our temperatures. Let's see here. We need to zoom in a little bit. I think I need to do this. Yes. There we go. And then under maps, I'm going to go to the cities and do readout. Come on. There we go. All right. And you can see what the mean max temperature is for today in lower Michigan. And the upper peninsula for that match. It's pretty much teens into the lower 20s across the region for today. Highs tomorrow, pretty much kind of the same thing. It does start to warm up down in southern lower Michigan, down by Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids with mid-20s, as well as Detroit getting into the upper 20s. Still kind of remains that way over the next couple of days as well. So as we get to January 5th, we finally get to around freezing, and I think that's in preparation before that next system comes in that may bring some rain or mixed precip going on. All right. Let's take a look at the probabilistic. There we go. And I was looking at this earlier. So over the next 72 hours, ending at about 7 a.m. in Michigan on Saturday, this is what is expected over the area. So that area southwest of Gaylord, in fact, I can zoom in a little bit, which is just outside of Kalkaska. and Mansalona, they're right in the thick of things with 10 to 11 inches. That's what's expected. The office is over here, and it's expecting somewhere around 6.5 to 7. Gaylord is at about 7 inches as well. In fact, if we pull up the statistics for it, the low end is 3 inches. It's not as likely. We're looking at the 75% chance of 3 inches. But as we get a little bit further up, the expected is 6 inches, which is probably the median of what's going on there. That would make sense with the way that the winds are expected to go. And then the high end, which is about anything above that, to get above 8 inches would be a 15% chance to get above at or above 8 inches. So that's where we're at right now. You can see Kalkaska, they don't have that little point, so I can't sample that. But they're probably in something that's probably a little bit more in line with that. Otherwise, having to get used to my Mac mouse again. Up here in Eastern Upper, 12.8 inches in this band, 13 inches. And if we quick do that, so the high end is expected around 14 inches. The expected is 12 inches there in Sault Ste. Marie, and the low end is 4 inches. So at least 4 inches are expected as this over the next 3 days. How much I have to emphasize that during this time. Okay, we're going to do a real quick QPF, which is the rain, new forecast. Okay, refresh the page. Thank you. Nope, it's going to bring me the snow back in Michigan, but that doesn't look like it's changed any. That looks good. We're going to go to the QPF because I want to show. This is just the straight rain that we're going if it was all liquid. Here we go. Wanted to show the Gulf Coast over the next 3 days. Just trying to move the screen, and it's kept thinking I was trying to zoom out. So, all right. There we go. Now I'll let it catch up. And it is showing that there is, in the Panama City area, well, you'll let it catch up still. So South Texas looks like it's going to still be dry over the next 3 days. The next 3 days in South Florida, it's going to probably be dry. It's this Panhandle area and over to roughly Louisiana, well, not just Louisiana, over to New Orleans. This lowest is something up to a tenth to a quarter inch. So right here is over the next 3 days that chance is. Of course, it's probably going to be the one day, which is probably 3 days from now, when that little line of rain will come through, depending on which model you believe. The European looked like it had more rain than the GFS, and we'll see how much that is. The last couple of events have been much lighter than what they were back at the beginning of the month. So, and there's a fair amount of dry air down here, so I can't imagine there'd be a whole lot going on. So it would not be surprising if this ended up being less than 0.2 of an inch. And in fact, in this area, Panama City, we are looking at, a tenth, 1/1500ths of an inch, 1/1400ths of an inch. That's just Tyndall Air Force Base, probably, Panama City, Florida. Well, yeah. So a tenth is expected. The high end is a tenth. Yeah, there isn't a whole lot, to get much past it. Everything really is expected is less than a tenth of an inch. So we are not expecting a whole lot out of this next little system of rain that comes through. We don't expect a big cool down as well. The one other thing that I was showing or was interested in is our tides. So this has been over the last night, It got all the way down to, let me turn off the water level guidance and the uncertainty. So right here at about 6 a.m. local time, which is 7 a.m. in the East Coast, it got to 1.3 feet below the mean low water position. This is -1. This is the mean low water. Typically, that's what your chart datum is supposed to be in, is when you're reading that, so you kind of know at least how far off the bottom your keel is off of the bottom of the body of water you're in. This is the expected guidance, with it being 1.5 foot over that. So it's going to raise at least almost 2.5 feet by this evening at 6 p.m. our time, 7 p.m. on the East Coast. And then I added this little gray thing. You see that it kind of shows a widening sort of idea, and that is the 90% forecast. The most likely one is 1.8, and the 10% is of some of the models are showing 1.9 feet. So almost a whole 3 foot change in tides here. It is coming up down here towards Friday night. That high tide is expected to be over 2 feet over the mean low water data. And of course, the night before or the morning before, it's supposed to get out here to, that is forecast is 0.6. So 1/2 foot, just a little bit more than 1/2 foot. So yeah, still a 2.5 foot, almost 3 foot rise in tides or swing in tides here over the next couple of days, after we have been on the low end when the wind started to move out of the north. So the slosh out and now the slosh back, and that's going to be where we're at. Okay. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to do. I'll just kind of briefly talk about it. If you're looking to cross the Gulf, the next couple of days are going to be rough. With the winds, we're expecting at least 3 to 4 foot waves out on the Gulf. When you're in a small craft, that's pretty uncomfortable. Some of them can take it, others are not as good. It depends on what size of the boat it is. The next few days, like I said, look a little rough in that 24-hour period. There may be a period of 1 foot, 24 hours, like the 5th into the 6th, that people could cross. That's starting to look a little bit better on it, but otherwise, out over the Gulf, it's going to be chilly today. It's going to warm up for a week back into the 60s at least. The water temperatures out over the Gulf are in the mid to upper 60s across a good portion of it, with a lot of with some of the waters being almost up to 70. But we are at that time of year where things are just kind of not very warm. It's not a place to go swimming. It's almost like Lake Michigan in the early summer. So, all right. Well, that's it for today. I'll try to get these out earlier in the morning as I get the work done, or get my workflow kind of refined. Now that I've got some things set up on the computer, I can take a look at this and try to get it all set up each morning and try to get this done. Let me know if you would like to see anything else here. Anything in particular that you think I'm missing. Am I being too general or too specific? What's a good run time? 15 minutes, 25 minutes, 45 minutes? I know I was trying to keep it shorter. Of course, with some of the issues that I had, there was it was a little on the long side, because I had to go through and fix things as it was happening. Do you want it live or do you want it recorded? If it's these live versions are recorded on YouTube, and I can always send that out on all my social media platforms. And I think I may try to keep my social media platforms. I wasn't doing a whole lot on my TikTok anyway. I'll see. Maybe if I do some shorts on YouTube or Instagram. I'm probably not going to put this onto Instagram. I'm just going to keep this mainly on X, where my main weather channel is, and then recreational.weather on Facebook. Those are the two places I think most people would tend to go to anyway. So yeah, let me know on any of that stuff. If you'd like a personal forecast, let me know in the comments or message me. Otherwise, thanks for watching.